everyone. Here is our map of the Middle East. Just to identify these 15 objects and places to help you kind of situate, understand, see some of these locations that we're talking about. Number one would be this right here. It's Saudi Arabia. I'm kind of going for the whole Arabian Peninsula though, this whole region here. So number one would be the Arabian, I could type, Peninsula. Number two would be right here in North Africa, and this would be Egypt and the Nile River area. Number three is this peninsula right here. This is the Sinai Peninsula. Let's identify all 15 of these first, and then we'll kind of explain a little bit more. Number four is the Middle Earth Sea, otherwise known as the Mediterranean, which separates Greece and Turkey, and of course just all of Europe from all of Africa. Number five would of course be Israel, correct? Israel. Number six would be basically the upper curve or arch of the Fertile Crescent. There's no real term for it. That upper part, I guess there's a mathematical term for arches and curves, but I don't know. Number five is this river on the west. And then number nine would be the river on the east. The one on the west would be the Euphrates. Number nine would be the other river, that would be the Tigris. Number eight would be the land between those two rivers, and that, as we know, is Mesopotamia. Number 10 would be the city of Ur. 11 would be right here. That would be the Persian Gulf. Number 12, I just wanted to kind of show you some modern day geopolitics. That would be the Strait of Hormuz. 13 would be the Arabian Sea. And then number 14 would be the Indian Ocean. And 15 over here, there's really no way to number these, but number 15 here would be the Red Sea. All right, so obviously let's talk a little bit about these. First off with history, number 10 is the city of Ur. That's the city of Abraham's homeland. God breaks into human history and calls out Abram to leave his homeland and go to number 5, the promised land. This land will be for you and for yours forever. Your descendants will be as numerous as the sands of the sea and the stars of the sky. So there's an Abrahamic covenant of not just of land, the promised land, but for future generations, which will be ceaseless, endless, perpetual, lasting forever. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, but you can't travel that. You'll die in the desert. It's too treacherous. It's too deadly. So instead, you have to travel the Fertile Crescent. The Fertile Crescent begins with the Persian Gulf in number 11, up to Ur, of course, Abraham's homeland, throughout the Mesopotamia region of 8, with the Tigris 7 and the Euphrates 9, arching up to number 6, and then down again to the Mediterranean Sea, number 4, with Israel, number 5. The Fertile Crescent continues, though, the Mediterranean, very, very north, number 3, the Sinai Peninsula, into northern Egypt with the Nile River, and of course down the Red Sea with number 15. The Exodus event is the Hebrews leaving Egypt under the leadership and guidance of Moses the Liberator. So they got to leave number 2 and got to get to number 5. So they will have to travel through 15, the Red Sea, and number 3, the Sinai Peninsula. That's a journey that should have taken 2 to 3 months. Exodus tells us the wandering took 40 years, a long, long time, to review those points with you. And then the Strait of Hormuz, this is where tens of millions of barrels of oil travel daily for global economic commerce. Iran, the country right here, sometimes meddles in this process, and that creates havoc on the economy and the stock markets throughout the world as well. So the Strait of Hormuz, you may have heard that. But the Persian Gulf, the Strait of Hormuz, spilling into the Arabian Sea, and of course the broader Indian Ocean. This is the Arabian Peninsula, number one. The country called Saudi Arabia takes up the bulk of the Arabian Peninsula, and where the holy cities of Mecca, probably like roughly here, and Medina within Islam. But we'll get to those cities, of course, when we get to Islam, our last religion of the course. But this Fertile Crescent, with the upper arch being number 6, this is where Mesopotamian cultures have thrived and existed for thousands of years. So when we talk about the Assyrian Empire and then the Babylonian Empire, they are here in the Mesopotamian culture. Broader, larger empires would be the Persian Empire and, of course, the Greek and Roman empires. They would be much larger than just the Fertile Crescent. But all right, there is our map. We'll get to Jewish scriptures later in a later lesson for you. All right, have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.